Tuesday. Today is the first day of Eid, what is it? Al-Adha? Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. I'm sure my pronunciation is terrible. So happy Eid to all of you who are celebrating. I thought I would take time today to kind of give you guys a primer on this second Eid holiday. For those of you that aren't familiar with it, because I wasn't. Well, I was kind of familiar with it. I just thought it was all one Eid. So if I get anything wrong, I'll put all my sources down below and kind of the written out version of what I'm saying. I apologize if it looks like I am reading something. I am, because I had to write everything out. So sorry about that, and if I get anything wrong, please let me know. I am by absolutely no means an expert. I am just learning this stuff and only know what I researched. So if I get anything wrong, let me know in English, please, if you wouldn't mind. My Arabic is, to say it's atrocious is an understatement. So in English, please. I appreciate it. So let me get into it. Today is the first day of Eid Al-Adha. People that aren't familiar with it, like me, we're calling it Eid 2, or Eid Part 2. It starts today, so I will do another culture video on that. This year, 2018. Hang on one second, I got a pop-up. Eid Al-Adha starts this evening, August 21st. It runs till the evening of Friday, August 24th. The dates change every year due to variances between the Islamic calendar, which is lunar, and the International Gregorian calendar, which is solar. It's approximately 11 days early each year. I think it's tied to the other Eid. I think it's like roughly 70 days after. I'm pretty sure I read that. Not enough to actually make a note of it, so that might be BS, I don't know. This Eid is the second of the two major worldwide Islamic holidays. The first one is Eid number 1, so Eid al-Fitr. It's considered to be the holier of the two from what I read. This Eid is called Feast of the Sacrifice in English. So FYI, if you are sensitive to things like that, there will be some more, I'm going a little bit further into detail. FYI, if you have small children listening, you might want to preview. So this one's called Feast of the Sacrifice in English. It honors the willingness of Abraham in English, to sacrifice his son Ishmael, Isaac, as an act of obedience to God's will. The moral of this story, which is also found in the Christian Bible and Judaism as well, is that sacrifice is purely about submitting your will to the will of God, recognizing that no matter the size of the sacrifice, some things have to be sacrificed to stay on the straight and narrow path. This Eid also marks the end of the annual Muslim pilgrimage to Mecca, which is also called the Hajj. I don't know if you've heard that term before. Hajj is one of the 5 pillars of Islam, and every Muslim is encouraged to visit Mecca at least once in their lifetime if they have the means to do so. From what I can gather, you could do it every year if you have the means to do it every year, but if you live in the States, that's a really expensive ticket, and I think that it's hard to get into. I'm not quite sure. There's got to be some sort of waiting list. There's a ton of Muslim people all over the world. You can't all descend on this one area. I mean, I wouldn't think that, I don't know, I guess maybe, I'm not sure. If you happen to know if there's a cap of attendees or how you become an attendee, let me know in the comments, because I am not quite sure on that one. Blah, 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 blah. Hajj means, quote from what I found, to intend a journey, and refers to the mental as well as the physical journey. So I'm imagining that it's okay if you can't ever afford to go to Mecca, as long as you kind of take a spiritual journey, then maybe that counts. I'm not sure, but that seems like it might be, reasonable. If you are unfamiliar, Mecca is in Saudi Arabia. If you've seen a video on television of a huge crowd of people walking around a massive black cube thing, that's the Hajj. I know I've seen it in the States on CNN before. There was that one year that something like a crane collapsed or something, and there was a lot of footage going around from that year. That's the Hajj, a super, super important thing. From what I've heard, the box is empty. There might be a scroll or something in it, but it's like you could, if you're important enough, you can go in it. I'd be interested to, maybe next year I'll do more research on just that, because it is super fascinating. There's a number of times you circle around, and then who gets to go is super interesting. Yeah, next year I will do more research on that and let y'all know. So back to this Eid. This Eid, it's also all about charity. So the last one was about charity too, but friends and family and thankfulness, and kind of mindfulness, and putting yourself in someone else's shoes through personal sacrifice. This one is charity focused. Charity, also one of the 5 pillars of Islam. And for this holiday, since sacrifice is a part of this holiday, affluent Muslims who can afford it sacrifice or pay to have sacrifice in their name, a goat, a sheep, a ram, or you go in with your friend's family congregation for a camel or a cow. I don't think they're gonna expect you to do a camel in one family, but maybe. And that's probably not gonna happen in the States. This animal, the animal that is sacrificed, has to meet certain age and quality standards and must be killed according to halal. So it's got to be good quality meat. The meat is then taken and divided into 3 portions. One portion goes to the family that has sacrificed it or paid to have it sacrificed. One portion goes to friends, relatives, and neighbors, so kind of in the community. And the 3rd portion is given away to the needy. Money is also given away to the needy if the family can afford to do so. The sacrifice can be done on any of the days of Eid. It only has to be done once, so you don't have to do a goat a day, because that would be a lot. If you have 10 goats and that would be a lot. Here in Qatar, the Ministry of Municipality and Environment, there's a lot of ministries, they've set up mobile abattoirs, so veterinary staff can be on hand to inspect the animals before and after slaughter to ensure that they're fit for human consumption. That's a really big thing. Halal meat is got to be appropriate. That's a huge thing, and it's also just kind of nicer in modern society to not have people on the side of the road often goats willy-nilly. I haven't seen any out today, but it's just I guess people have off of work today, so they are off for Eid today. So maybe the prayers were this morning, I don't know. We're getting to that. For this holiday, how it's celebrated, everyone wears their new or their best clothes. Special sweets are prepared. I didn't see anything on what special sweets meant on the source that I read that talked about special sweets, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. Maybe make those next year for a tasting. And gatherings are held with family and friends. Each day usually starts with the whole family dressed in their best for morning prayer. The Eid prayer follows about an hour and a half after the first prayer, which is at dawn, and is held in a large open space or field. Someone I was speaking to today did say that she saw a bunch of trucks driving around with carpets. So prayer is done on carpets here, and you wouldn't want to like kneel in the white sand. That would be terrible. So she saw a bunch of them driving around, so I'm imagining they're still setting up some of the areas, which makes sense. I mean, they'll be there for 3 days, and it's sandy here, and it's not windy today. It's really humid today. But yeah, you wouldn't want them to be like just completely buried. So, second prayer is followed, held in a large open space or field. And then a sermon on forgiveness, mercy, and peace for all humanity follows, along with, just church fellowship, well wishes. Traditionally, this was an interesting one, and I only read this in one source, so traditionally when returning home, it is expected that you take a different route home than the one you took to get to the mosque. So I don't know if that's like after morning prayer. Yeah, I don't know, and I only saw that one place, so grain of salt. After prayers, it's time to visit family and friends. You bring food, you bring gifts. Kids get gifts on this holiday. Everybody's happy, everybody celebrates. It's a really, fun time. Charity is also given out by the family. People go to participate in different activities around town as well. Food varies regionally and from family to family, of course. But oftentimes, from what I've read, fried liver is served for breakfast. The rest of the animal is served for lunch and dinner. So think something like a slow braised lamb dish, like a lamb shank, biryani, kebab, tahine, or steak. Here in Qatar, people get the holiday off, even non-Muslims. A lot of people travel. I think they get like all 4 days, 21, 22, 23, 24. It totally depends on your work. What is it? QIC. The alcohol. The place that you get alcohol is closed for like 10 days. I think for at least 1 day, if not all days. You can't buy alcohol in anywhere, even in the restaurants. It's, fine. My love. Sorry, doggo just jumped on the couch with her bone. Ooh, she's toasty. But yeah, so ministries are closed. I would imagine. Actually, I didn't look to see if all of the state-run, government-run places are closed. So, like the driver's license place. But I would imagine that they would be. You wouldn't want to work. That would be crappy to have to like work as a government worker while like all your friends and family that like work in an office get to like go home and have fun for 4 days or travel. Because a lot of people leave. There's also a host of family-friendly events and shows around town. There's some sort of like Sleeping Beauty, I guess like mini plays going on at one of the malls. Minions are coming to another mall. Some green guy that I have no idea who that is at some other mall. I think I saw something about a craft something somewhere, which looked really fun, but of course it's for kids, because all the crafts are for kids. Bunch of dining, shopping, staycation specials are available. And I read something about 368 mosques and prayer grounds have been prepared for the festivities, and 70 locations with separate spaces for women have been prepared. So, and that's all I've got on Eid Al-Adha. So it's, super happy time, really positive holiday. Yeah, it should be cool to see what's going on around town. Hopefully I'll be able to take some good pictures of the day to share with you guys, so you can see a little bit more. Yeah, so that about wraps this video up. I hope you guys are having a great week, and I will see you again on Friday. Hopefully I get some good pictures. I don't know how much I'll be going out for the rest of the week. Most of my friends' husbands have it off, so they've run off. So I'm finding different things to do. Anyways, I will talk to you guys on Friday. Hope you're having a good week. Bye.